Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Golden Bachelorette post-show live stream with me, Bachelor Fan Take. Oh, still got, still got the green screen setting on the hat. All right, there we go. Didn't check that beforehand. How's everyone doing tonight? Week 2 of the Golden Bachelorette here. And Joan's journey for love continues. But before we get into everything, of course, got to go over the chat rules for the night. Number 1, please, no posting any spoilers in the comments section. We are going to be talking, sleuthing, and all that fun stuff, but no blatant spoilers. Sleuthing totally welcome. Anything that can be backed up by sleuthing, totally welcome. Number 2, be kind to each other. And number 3, don't break YouTube policies and get them unleashing their wrath on us all. So, we saw first one-on-ones, first group dates, and a bunch of cannonballs tonight. And Maria Hernandez, good to see you. Thank you for the super chat. Really, really appreciate that. I'm more sad seeing these guys leave than on Jen's season. Yeah, that's for sure. Love how Jack ended the episode with Sinatra. They really got to put a warning when they make us cry every time. Glad that King Charles is still around. Charles, still here for another week. I don't know about next week, might be the last, but we'll see. Still around for one more week. Though I can't remember where I heard it, but the season might be smaller, might be less episodes this season. Not sure what the deal is on that, but being around for 3 out of 8 episodes instead of 3 out of 10 or 11. I don't know what they would do. Like, they're sort of on track for, I guess they could do 2 more episodes, and then it's episode 5, get down to Hometowns on 6, Fantasy Suites and finale, not do a Men Tell All. Anyway, we are moving on, and Charles. So like, being if it is 8 episodes, 3 out of 8 is a larger chunk of the season than what a lot of people get. But no, the big date for the week was Chalk's. Chalk got a date. It was chock full of Disney fun. This episode, as he got a date, and of course Jack's cannonballs from the preview. And a couple of other things. A big thing from the preview was "And I Love You" that they put in, and "I Love You" from Joan to Mark. Future Golden Bachelor Mark, if ABC had it their way, is what it feels like. There was like, "And I love you, Mark." That was added into this. Total fake out. Actually ended up being a German lesson where he asked her in German for a kiss. But that's how they get you in the previews sometimes. But we'll go over the little preview for next week as well. But yeah, Chalk's date, 2 group dates, the Bachelor talent show, Golden Bachelorette talent show, and the prom date as well from the previews. Very sweet. This is a different kind of a season. Where things are, focused more on the positive. That's what they're trying to do with these Golden Bachelor and Bachelorettes. One thing that's interesting, there is one controversy going on in the Golden Bachelorette world, and it's about this man, Gil. I've been catching up on the latest Bachelor controversies, all the Devin stuff from last season, and the sort of stuff that's been coming out after the show as well. Also, Gil apparently he's getting reduced screen time this season because apparently there's this big restraining order that was put on him from an ex, and alleged harassment that occurred, and all this sort of stuff. This came out, so he's getting reduced screen time, which I got like questions about. One, he got a pretty good feature in this episode, a little, not nothing huge, but he got a little feature. Is it? I'm wondering if was this episode already like edited and in the can and ready to go. They couldn't do any changes when this came out, and it's only like future episodes where he's getting reduced screen time. It also allegedly says that this information came out. I'm reading an article about it. So it's the temporary restraining order was dismissed due to a lack of prosecution, but apparently production learned about the filing against Ramirez a few days before filming began. So they learned about this. He's getting reduced screen time, but they still went with it. Interesting. Made it through the vetting process as well. But here's the thing. He's getting reduced screen time this episode or this season, and it feels very like golden. Like this is the way it should be done for stuff like this. What about all the other seasons? Anyway, already we've got a golden controversy. So we'll be seeing more or less of Gil, less apparently, and even though we saw some of him tonight, it's a strange thing. I think of like there was this RuPaul's Drag Race controversy with this queen Sherry Pie, and this queen was also like this the stuff came out and was like these disclaimers came up that said this person is going to be receiving less screen time. They've been cut out of the season, but obviously they're there and they still competed and they made it quite far. So like you're gonna see them, but so we can't completely cut them out, but we're reducing screen time. And like that it's like a competition show. It's hard to cut someone out completely. Here, like this episode, his like moment was a very like, within the moment, very like touching subject about his wife and all this stuff added in like that. Like you didn't have to add that in. Like this is not a competition. This is not like them on a group date where he's doing something with other guys and you see him there. Like you can't cut that out. You can't like Michael Scott cut him out of the like put a different head on and do that. But anyway, Not quite sure. I guess I don't know how these things work. If it's too late, they've submitted the episode, they can't change it. I don't know for sure. I do know there are instances where like with a Netflix show, I know with certainty that things have days before. Like footage has changed days before it released, but anyway, there's Gil, reduced screen time, and so maybe this will be the last of Gil that we see and talk about. Who knows if they're even doing an After the Final Rose, or sorry, not After the Final Rose, Men Tell All. Who knows if they are doing less episodes this season. At least we know. I mean, at least we know Joan doesn't choose him. Yeah, it could be like the Rachel or controversies or something like that, where Maybe that's maybe there like there's stuff about Devin that's come out, like these affidavits and things, and also like reports of you know allegations of harassment and abuse. Like, was that known? And were they trying to, knowing that he went on to get engaged to Jen, did that change it? Did they try to, was it more like, were they trying to hide it? Anyway, controversy abounds. Yeah. The article you read sounds like Gil won't be around too much longer. Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think, like, even with, because this came out after, this came out, like, recently, like, right after the first episode. I mean, I guess I don't know if they knew this was coming or what they could have changed in terms of editing, but definitely after the first episode and the preview breakdown, Gil was like, no chance. There's just no footage of him whatsoever, except with like a few small little cutaways and things like that. I mean, I guess he didn't have zero like screen time, which some guys zero, but nothing to expect. Like, not even a pre-hometowns situation. But, hey, we'll see. Definitely not amongst the top guys. The top two, or rather, potential top two, or the top two in terms of evidence that we have from the previews, Chalk, man of the hour. I got this, like, special green screen. I forgot. I know, like, I used to have the green screen before I moved into this actual office space. Definitely working on changing the sauna vibe going on, but it's just a hectic thing. Forgot to turn off the green screen filter on my camera, so here we go. Maybe we can watch some of the preview later just through my hat. Chalk and Guy, the big things going on with these two. Guy, they had the scare at the end of the episode with Guy. Guy was one of the last men standing. He got the last rose of the night, and it was between him, Bob, couple other guys, Jack, Bob, him, and poor Bob. But Guy getting the last rose. And so here's the thing. The things that are the big points of interest. The bench. If you watch my preview breakdown, you'll know what I'm talking about. The benches in the shots, up in the corner, and then right here, boop, boop, boop. The benches. It's benches are a sacred Bachelor iconic artifact. They only come out at specific moments. They need to, when a lead is separating with someone and they need somewhere to sit, they pull out the bench for very specific moments. At the end of rose ceremonies, which is, again, very specific rose ceremonies, so usually late in the game, like Final 4 or Final, like right before Hometowns, Final 6 or whatever it is, for when things are more serious and someone gets eliminated and they deserve like an explanation and like a post-mortem or a mini post-mortem, like that's a bench moment. These, though, are not rose ceremonies. The other moments are after a hometown, when they sit down and they go, okay, it's like time. Are you going to say I love you? Are you going to make a play for that fantasy suite? Or at like a meet the family date, final 2. And these are the vibe going on here is like final two, fantasy suite, maybe. I mean, there are a few like who knows? There can be exceptions going on here, but absolutely end game vibes for both of these shots. Like at worst, hometown. But I don't think like in the corner. Like maybe the one with Guy could be a hometown. He's looking a little nice. I don't know, but certainly the one with Chalk does not look like a hometown. He's got way too casual of a shirt on. It actually, to me, looks like end of a fantasy suite. It could be a final two, but like the more I think about it, the more I've been looking at it. Like it feels like just a moment where they like after the morning after a fantasy suite, and they're chilling, and he's going back to wherever his place is. Yeah, random hot tubs, yes, are more iconic. Random hot tubs are actually like they are a bachelor staple, but they don't give away the sleuthing, which the benches do for me. So like I don't know. It's just after doing these like preview breakdowns for a while now. For I feel like for like 5 years. Woo. There's just certain things that's like I've seen the shot before. I've seen the shot. I've seen it in every season. And I feel like now I'm becoming a broken record with like every season. It's like, oh, bench, or a few things like, yeah, no, this vibe is like, and I never know if it like comes across to anyone else. So I guess it helps when I put together a preview breakdown. I usually know, okay, I'll go back in a season, I will find the exact same shot that they did, and it's this, and yeah, it's like they do the same stuff. They gotta sit somewhere. And yeah, anyways, all right, bench talk, 2024. We're gonna spend all night talking about a bench. No, we said, but yes, no, but yes, we said goodbye to good old Jack as well. He did it his way, and his way was cannonball into the pool. So have you chatted yet about Gary's return? Not yet. We're going to get to that. We're going to talk about that in probably just a couple minutes now. We're going to go into the preview for next week. And Golden Bachelor Gary is back. Jack is not. Jack is gone. He did it his way. And what a way it was. He got a sweet little vacay out of this, and he's going home, no complaints. But yeah, it's just refreshing to have a different vibe from the usual Bachelor stuff. So we'll see. But yeah, let's talk about Golden Gary. Let's talk about what's to come next week. More sports date on the way. Let's do this thing here. I'm gonna pop this up. And get this going. Here, let's not blast it. Here we go, and maybe I'll make myself teeny tiny in the corner here. And let's look at this preview for next week. Let's see what's up. Let's see what's going on.
Our brains think we're 25, and our bodies are like, no, you're not.
Oh, I'm having problems. Oh.
Yes. So we've got the annual, seasonal, whatever you want to call it, sports date, kickball date coming up. And it looks like by the number of guys here, and we'll see in the in the as it goes on. We're transitioning now into the one group date and 2 one-on-ones part of the season instead of the 2 group dates that we saw this week in the 1 one-on-one. And the group date, sports. What would it be? What would a season of this show be without sports? Kickball this time, not doing the pickleball thing like they did before. But sports. Yay, let's go sports. There's a bunch of sports kickball fanatics. And, yeah. They're tumbling, falling, and...
I'll give you a tweak the hamstring there.
It's amazing what we'll do for a pretty lady.
Pascal makes me feel young and kind of sexy. He has a zest for life.
there he is. There, Pascal with the luxury date. Another Bachelor staple. The let's do something fancy. And what a better guy? What better of a guy to do this luxury date than with the guy who already lives in luxury anyway? It's just a day in the life. It's just a day in the life for Pascal. None of these other guys who maybe, this would be something fun and adventurous and new for them. I don't get to do this kind of thing in my life. No, we're going to give it to Pascal, who this is a Tuesday for Pascal. And anyway.
Thank you. I'm actually on the top of the world right now.
And there's the other one-on-one. We can just see like a little brief look. You get a closer look of Jonathan. Prom King. One-on-one. Pretty good for him. And
I've missed you.
You too. I'm already
Chalk
forming strong feelings for some of these men.
Oh my God.
yeah, and they're going to Vegas. They're taking this plane to Vegas for this luxury date. Chalk here, this is just looks like rose ceremony, pre-rose ceremony cocktail party sit down going on here. Group date with Jordan, I believe. There, but yeah, Vegas.
This is a fairy tale. How can you not fall in love?
Looking into her eyes, I felt
Evening
that.
portion of the group date. I mean, Pascal, I have no doubt, just by virtue of him being here, this looks like they're doing this. This is what they're doing. Maybe after the date is successful, it would be kind of like that typical. Like they had the fireworks this episode. This time they go up and share a kiss after the successful date. Is my guess. So I think just by virtue of him even being here, where it's no surprise. Pascal, we've seen footage of him anyway later on in the show. So Pascal getting a rose, not going to be at risk of what Jesse Palmer was talking about today. If you don't get they brought it up. If you don't get a rose, you're going home. And no, Pascal's staying.
Looking into her eyes, I felt that soul
Group
connection.
date.
I haven't had
Rose
these feelings
ceremony.
since my husband.
Yeah, there we go.
People keep asking me, are you 100% ready to have love in your life? But I'm not really.
Yeah, and that's the big drama point of the season. And even these previews are super misleading. They made a bigger thing out of maybe even Jack's cannonball stuff, but super light, and the guy on guy drama is not really going to be a thing. It's more the struggle of the journey itself. That is the drama of the season.
Not really, because John was a huge part of my life. And I'm sorry.
She probably wants to walk away.
Nah. Not gonna want to walk away. It's just pumping it up. But yeah, I think you see here maybe there's Jonathan, of course, getting a rose. Another rose here. And
Have you considered the possibility that your guy is not here?
Oh my gosh. There's the preview. Golden Gary. What? This has got to be deliberate. Gotta be super deliberate. This like the only thing that they show. I'm sure Gary has a lot to say here. I'm sure he's got a lot to say here, and let's see if I can. Boom. I'm sure he's got a lot to say here, but they really deliver that. Are you sure your guy's here? Yeah, and maybe this is all gonna just suck for you. Is Gary's advice? Gary, looking tan, Gary, and coming in with the horrible advice. Oh man, I can't wait to see what he actually says. I want to know what the full conversation is, because it would be something else if we just came in and said this and said, "Bye, hi Joan, I'm here to give you advice from one golden lead to another. What if you end up like me, Joan? What if you end up like me, Joan?" What if your person's not actually here? Maybe he's. They should get they. Let's get those producers back in toxic mode and start going. Gary, start. Maybe ask to join the season. I wish. No, this is no. He's coming in just for an advice segment. I'm sure of it, and they're hyping it up. I like they. It so has to be less drama than this. These previews are way more dramatic than what the show, like the golden version of the show, ends up actually being. There, I just feel in my core it's gonna be like he's gonna say that, and it's gonna be silly of him to say. He shouldn't say that, but I bet you it's gonna be not a thing, and maybe she maybe this is what prompts the whole this conversation. Why is my chair is like sinking at the sight of Gary. Yeah, they do this stuff all the time. It's like when Hannah B came on Peter's season. They do this stuff all the time with past leads or and they fake it out, and it ends up being nothing. It's just an advice segment, I'm sure. And but there does seem to be a through line for a little while of the struggle to overcome, feeling like you need to honor your first love and still find happiness here. No matter what your spouse told you, to go, like, please go find happiness. I mean, it's I just putting myself in her shoes or the men's shoes. I could like it's like how do you get over that? How do you and fall in love with someone else and find happiness and still honor your loved one? And besides, my wife says if she ever died early or before me, she would haunt me. So that would be like an additional factor. So it's how would we get over that? But yeah, like a different. It's just the Golden Bachelorette tone. Is stuff like that is going to be the forefront of, and then is she going to, this with with Gil. More Gil. Why am I seeing more Gil screen time?
She probably wants to walk away.
She probably wants to walk away. It's a line that, like, in a flash in these previews, it's like, oh, is she going to walk away, like, from the whole process? No, she probably wants to, like, have a moment by herself. She wants to walk away for a moment, and it's like, it's so often it's stuff like that. It's not like oh, is she going to leave the show? No, it's she probably wants to walk away for a moment, like, just leave her alone for a second. Yeah. Another thing, Dan as well. Dan had he had a good little bonus time with Rose tonight. Yeah. Do you think Charles is getting a Golden Bachelor edit? Seeing him alone at the prom date? Oh yeah, that was heartbreaking. Seeing Charles right here, checking out the fridge. Yeah, that was Charles' story is fantastic. I don't know if he's getting the Golden Bachelor edit. I think this man is of anyone, this man is getting the Golden Bachelor edit. Charles is getting the, like, he could be getting like a Susan thing going on, just in he's a very different vibe than Susan, but like he'll get, like, featured. I'm sure they will bring him out and give him, like, all the accolades for, like, a potential men tell-all. I don't know what they're going to do with the number of episodes this season. I've heard mixed things. But Mark is they had him out. He's got the Kelsey connection, the Kelsey Joey connection already. The fans already wanted him on the show from Joey season. And they have been, like, I feel, based off of what we've seen from the previews, he does okay in the season. He goes, like at best, like, he'll get eliminated before hometowns, but maybe even before that. But he is getting primped up in the previews, even getting that, like, fake out "I love you" mark. And here he's getting, and he is very, like, good, like, he's a smooth guy. He seems very sweet. And he, is getting tons of screen time. So he's getting these, like, feature moments every episode. So if anyone's getting a Golden Bachelor edit, I think they're leaving the door open for this. He was there in the audience at the finale, the Jen's finale. They brought him out with Joan. And there you go. Do I have final picks? So I do have final 4 picks from my preview breakdown. If you check out my preview breakdown, so these two are my right now final 2. If I had to say final 2, it's these two chalk. Final 1. Hard to differentiate right now. Like, this was such a chalk episode by design. So a lot of his screen time, tonight, he was getting the one-on-one. So of course he's going to get focus. Of course he's going to get pushed in. However, like, night 1, he was not the focus. He was not in any drama, not first impression rose, nothing crazy going on with him, but he got featured. So, like, based off of that, I put chalk in, and all this stuff, end game footage with the two of them. The other guys I have are based off of screen time, process of elimination, are Jordan and Jonathan. Jonathan got a big chunk of stuff tonight. He got a group date rose, or he got like the prom king thing, and next week he's getting a one-on-one. He's gotten some good screen time, good focus, and Jordan is a sleeper because that was more process of elimination. So I'm not entirely sure how it's going to go. And Fantasy Suites as well is going to be different. Joan has talked about how she is doing a different sort of outlook on Fantasy Suites. They're having Fantasy Suites, but there's no bed. They're not doing like a staying in the same bed thing. It's just extra time to be alone without cameras. That's what she's doing. So that's the kind of nothing terribly changed or different than what was I've talked about in my preview breakdown. So that's the deal. If Kelsey and Joey break up, a double Golden Bachelor, normal Bachelorette season with daughter and dad. I don't even know how to feel about that. I feel like that would be so weird. But it would... I'm also 100% in on anything this show does that's weird. Give me weird. Maybe I've watched so much of this show. I need that... I need the change-ups. But, like, I would so rather have a season that's like unusual and weird than something that's just like streamlined. Or you know what, scratch that. I don't care as long as it's like genuine. If you're putting people in a situation where they are genuine and we are seeing authentic, like not people trying to be what they think we should be, that's what I want. So, and usually the people like the people in situations that are weird, they're like those are the people that you can bet are going to be just themselves. And I don't have to agree. Like, I don't have to think that I'm going to be I'm going to be friends with this person in real life if I met them. Like, they don't have to be my people. They just have to be authentic people. And that's fun to watch. You know? Like, I don't need me on screen to enjoy watching something. It doesn't have to be someone from that's walked similar paths that I have in life. I just want to see real, like people that are real and not trying to put some like that. And that's one of the problems with Jen's season is that so many of those guys were trying to put something on. Like, so many of those guys came for Maria or Daisy or expecting one of those two, and with all this other crap in their, baggage and stuff like that, that it was like, what do we do with this? What do we do with this? It's like at the very, very end, it explodes and there's drama, but for the whole season, it's like, So give me, but there were like a few exceptions. Hakeem, for example, that dude was so fun to watch because he was just like, he was having a good time. Even Jack, like, dude is there on a vacation. He's like, maybe, like, Joan seems kind of cool. Maybe it'll work out. I'm going to go do a cannonball. At least he's like that, but that's him. That's who he is. Okay, give me that. Give me that over Sam M. And Devin. And Thomas and they're all scuffling and fighting and talking about who's really here for Jen and what Jen wants when they didn't even want Jen. Hakeem's vibing. He's being real. Having a good time. He did it his way. Anyways, I've gone on a rant. we're gonna come now to the end of the live stream, and next week is a big week for content, so I'll have a recap for this out, preview breakdown most likely, almost assured Italy, and next week we've got a new season of Love is Blind coming out as well. Comes out Wednesday. So I am not sure what the outlook of a live stream for next week is going to be, simply because I'm going to be trying to get out a video on Love is Blind a week today. Episodes are going to come out, and it's like 5 or 6 episodes usually, sometimes 4. Get a video on that, then watch the Golden Bachelorette and do videos on Thursday, Friday. So I'm not sure what shape I'm going to be in on Wednesday next week. So I can't guarantee a live stream, but tons of content coming out on the channel. So we'll see. Can't guarantee. So lots and lots and lots of stuff coming your way as we gear up into spooky season, and we'll see if Love is Blind is anything like last season of Love is Blind, not the UK, the US version. It is going to be the spookiest thing you'll see all October. So there you go. Yes, the restraining order, previous girlfriend, harassment, following her even from living hours away, all sorts of stuff are the alleged restraining order, blah blah blah. So Gil's going to be getting reduced screen time, apparently. And apparently they found out. Apparently they knew days before filming and were like, let's let him on? I mean, couldn't you, even if you found that out like night 1 or week 2, couldn't you be like, hey, yeah, we found out about this, our vetting process didn't bring this out, I think it's best if you leave. Like, couldn't they do that? I don't know, man. I don't know. Seems, but hey, par for the course. Par for the course with what they do with this vetting and all that. But all right, thank you everyone who joined me tonight for this live stream, who commented. Maria for super chat, and we got lots and lots of content coming out. Thank you for chatters, lurkers, all of the above. Tomorrow, recap, preview breakdown coming your way as well, and then next week, Love is Blind and more Golden Bachelorette. And then hey, we've got a new season of The Bachelor in January as well. So just more and more coming your way. And probably other content I'll try to see about too at some point. Hey, we're going to keep it going. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Wonderful rest of your night and tomorrow and week. And until next time, Bachelor Fan Take out.